Bomb. If you're the Giants, do you
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
ice him right here? I mean, this is a big high leverage kick. I don't know if the Giants are scoring 7 points in the second half. 6 is doable. 7 seems tough.
No bueno.
I think we ice him, right?
It
I
had
think
the
the Giants
distance.
ice him.
Did not get there.
Wide left. No timeout.
Wide left.
All right.
And
Well,
I mean, right away, let's talk Manning cast. Yeah, and a million. It's been said a million times by a million people. It should just be the Mannings. Like there's been a couple guests where it's been pretty fun because either they cussed or they're clearly like crunk.
yeah.
But for the
What's
most part,
crunk?
I just want to hear the
You mean
Mannings bicker, and I want to hear like Peyton getting mad at the head coaches, the offensive coordinators, everything, and also just calling out some of the little things, the minutia that those guys see that we don't. It's beautiful. So yeah, the refs have been the story of the game. And I feel like there's an old story, Drew, about when the Globetrotters were playing early in their existence. They had to play in a swimming pool with baskets, a drained swimming pool. And obviously there's a deep end and a shallow end. And
yeah.
one of those halves, you're going uphill the entire time. I might be apocryphal, but either way, that's what it feels like for the Dallas Cowboys, thanks to these refs. It has been
Yeah.
it has been a little one. And granted, we both have some small. I just bet small because I don't know, Drew. I think Drew is all in on the Cowboys. I think that's a
No,
10,
not all
10
in this.
unit
This was a
will
very low
bet.
very low
But yeah,
confidence.
low confident play, but I did put a little on the Cowboys, and I'm I'm biased, but at the same time, other people have been plenty forthcoming with the fact that it is pretty ishy.
Yeah, it's been a bad game, Andy. Although, you know what? Let's actually, I want to reframe this entirely. The Cowboys offense and defense are playing great.
Yeah, honestly,
Cooper Rush is playing well.
Kudos to both quarterbacks for different reasons.
Yeah,
Cooper Rush is playing amazing given the situation he's been put in and the fact that he's missing basically any good receivers save CeeDee Lamb, who can't grab onto the ball for the most part. And Daniel Jones is under constant duress, and he is being so annoying. So fucking annoying. He's Russell Wilson incarnate, where he's just running out of these sacks, and he's still been sacked like 4 times, at least 3. So, do we see touchdowns?
Okay, so, man, I mean, the Cowboys offense has been dancing, and the Giants defense is not looking great. Obviously, the CeeDee Lamb drop was the most notable play of the first half because that probably took 7 points off the board for the Cowboys. The Cowboys did not get the beneficiary of a clearer pass interference call when they were in the red zone as well. So there's been a lot of points left on the field for Dallas. The Dallas defense is like, they are so close to some havoc plays. Like, you brought up Daniel Jones deserves some credit because like he's just escaping by a shoelace, like left and right here and just surviving. And every time we watch this guy in prime time, it's the same story. It's like, God damn it. Like, he is sneaky athletic because he's just a goofy, tall white guy. And it's like, yeah, he's faster than you realize. He's more able to kind of maneuver and do kind of, he's got wiggle. He's, which is not what you expect. And so, pressure is bearing down on him. He's able to evade and create 5, 6, 10 yards on the ground with his legs because he's got a good scamper to him. He has 24 yards rushing so far in this game, and I feel like every one of those was a first down. If not, I think maybe one was not, but the 3 were. So that absolutely helps your team move the ball. But the Giants were trying some tempo in the first quarter. Did you see that?
What do you think of this?
America's team money line. Yeah, I like it. That's what we're playing.
This is one. If this was a Sunday afternoon game, after I watched this first half, I would look at the box score for 15, 30 seconds, and I'd say, I'm not betting this second half. But if I had to, it would probably be the under. I wish we could get a 20. I was hoping for a 20. Yeah. There's no 20. I think Dallas is the better team. The offense has looked better. There's been a couple of nice Giants drive, but it felt like they were ref assisted a little bit. So I like Dallas the underdog. Probably you could honestly, the move is probably
Giants get the ball
take
first.
The half point. I think that's why, and that's the only reason the Cowboys are a half-point underdog in the second half.
The Cowboys are gaining 7.4 yards per play. Giants 4.6. 4.6 is horrifically poor.
Not good.
And like as mentioned, like some of it was just broken plays and scrambles, and a lot of the net yardage for the Giants has been sack one screen passes up against just a softish defense. Steven, second half play, go hug your family.
Go touch some. It's dark out, but you can still go touch some grass. I mean, so I'm going to play the Cowboys second half.
Okay, all right. We ride.
But I want you to talk about the difference between like taking that half point and playing the money line like I'm going to right now.
The most likely outcome of this game is that the Cowboys win by 3. that's the push probability of.
Oh, you know what I'm doing?
The push probability of money line is really, really high.
I'm splitting half and half. Another soccer bet.
You're playing Cowboys plus 0.25
plus a quarter.
Great. Yes. Plus a quarter. I like that. That's fun. I mean, the juice adds up. Second half plays in general are a little tighter, so just I don't hate that. The Cowboys defense needs to get home, man. Like so many close calls. They have I think 2 sacks so far, 3 sacks, 8 yards lost, but then there's been 3 almosts in there. Obviously a couple of holds not called on Micah Parsons and the interior pass rush on one play that I noticed, but the reffing was the reffing is a funny story because it was so lopsided in the beginning of the first quarter that you were like, God damn, like this doesn't feel good or right at all. And then the missed pass interference was so clear and obvious, and they showed the replay. And at that point, it felt like the refs then are trying to even things with some bad calls or some no calls. And the OPI I thought was a bad call. So the refs have done a solid job of just losing complete control of the game from an officiating standpoint, but that's fine. It's preseason week 3.
Full agree. You guys in the chat, I know a lot of you, Drew and I live in states where the Native American tribes have a lot of sway, and it's been slow going on the road to legalized betting. Any legal betting I've ever done has been through traveling or betting through friends. I know, and this is one of the things I'm not terribly excited about it, honestly, anymore with a lot of the shit that's happened. But you guys have so many live bet options and stuff of that nature where it's like live player props and stuff. That is harder to find in the offshore world. You got to go, some PPHs will have stuff, but for the most part, it's really slim pickings for that. Who scores the first touchdown? I feel like that might be up at Bovada or somewhere weird, but if you guys don't have a first touchdown bet already, or if you do and you wish you didn't, who are you betting first touchdown scorer, and why is it no one?
Well, that's funny. We should give Heck a shout. We were doing our normal Monday or primetime routine.
Everybody said that too.
Everybody throws their first touchdown. He's like, no touchdown is live. And I was like, it is live. I didn't bet it, but I recognized it. There's been a decent amount of over money come in. This is 20 now. Do you have an opinion one way or the other on the total?
I guess. What would be the case for the over? Just that Dallas is
going to score 2 offensive touchdowns and 1 defensive touchdown?
Yeah.
That's really it.
And
you got to make all 3 extra points, though.
It does feel like a turnover is due with all the times that Daniel Jones has been hit or nearly hit. Just the amount of time they've been in the backfield.
Yeah.
Swinging arms around. Look at this. Zoom in on that, Dan. Oh, Dan pulled up his Bovada account here, and we have odds.
Daniel Bellinger's live at 125 to 1. He seems to be the primary target for Daniel Jones in this one.
I kind of feel like I'm pulling up Bovada right now.
Okay, so I don't know what we're looking at. There's too much crazy shit going on. But the general vibe coming into this game was Dallas has some blue chip players like Micah Parsons and some other great defenders. They have CeeDee Lamb, who I thought could catch a football. and Tony Pollard, who's very fast, and was going to get some opportunities tonight. And so far, that's all held true. The risk of back-to-back in the Cowboys pregame was that Cooper Rush was going to come out there and poop in his pants, but he has not. He has been very composed. He's been very cool. And I think as long as you get another kind of clean half out of Cooper Rush here, eventually the Dallas defense does its job. Really love the way that they're scheming right now. Dan Quinn is getting my kind of early vote, at least, of coordinator of the year defense-wise so far in this early part of the season.
We might need to
that
go
Cowboys defense to regress.
Yeah, we joked about going, hey, we got to go find the quote where we said something nice about the Eagles in the preseason. You laughed because we did it like 10 times, but I feel like there might be an Andy quote saying Dan Quinn is a terrible head coach, but might be an okay coordinator.
You absolutely said that.
And like, that's one of the things I guess I got sort of right, because he is really I don't know, it's not blitzes either. It's like the different types of pressure he's bringing right now. It feels like kind of a creative young man. Like, hey, this is a hot up and coming defensive coordinator, not some old dude that's been around.
Ben Verone brings up Diggs might be out. Anyone know after that last play? It didn't look great, but he's a warrior. I've seen him take those kind of hits before and play through it. So he may be out, maybe not. Didn't see anything come through the wire. I have my injury bug open. If I didn't have a full game bet on the boys, I'd probably be with you saying we should be more seriously betting them second half.
I'm Googling Trevon Diggs on Twitter, and most of it is just people getting super mad about that one play.
Yeah.
I hope Trevon Diggs' career ends. Fuck Trevon Diggs. I hope Trevon Diggs is out for the game. Like, most people are just mad at him. I feel like Giants Twitter's all over this
right now. We got to get to overtime here real quick because there's so much to talk about. It was a fucking big one today. Big day in the news department. Like, the landscape of the NFL is different after getting all of our information relative to what we talked about on our show last night. Although I think we were generally ahead of most of the big stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got a nice number on Cincinnati that flipped to the other side of the 3. We got cheap 2.5s. Green. It was kind of an afterthought, but I didn't want to do it. But the more we looked at Green Bay -9,
I caught a 6.
Why isn't that? Yeah, even there was early numbers that were like 6.5. I'm like, why isn't this on the other side of a 10? Bailey Zappi, that's the other thing too. So the three biggest questions I needed to answer this week that are not full on injury questions about in or out is the Vikings New Orleans travel, which you guys on Twitter were awesome. Solved instantly. You guys
did you bet New Orleans money line based on that?
Almost.
I did.
I still don't like. There's good news for the Minnesota secondary. Harrison Smith is cleared concussion protocol, and looks like Booth is probably in too.
Yeah.
And Jameis just looked off, so I'm probably abstaining from that game.
They get a week of prep there though.
Yeah. The other sites
mini camp.
The other one was does Tampa Bay game going to be played? Where are they? So where are they practicing? Where is it going to be?
Miami. We know.
When is it going to be played? They're in Miami practicing.
Yeah.
Hopefully for their sake, it doesn't get moved to KC because that's a rough move for them. I would think the Superdome is available. Go play this in the Bayou. That makes sense. Just play a nice indoor game. 2 fun teams. And then the third one is
very hurricane resilient city. We all know this.
Yeah. Is it well, the Hurricanes, it's facing the other way.
That's true.
Bailey Zappi. Are we getting, somebody said Bailey Zappi ticket is live. Honestly, if he might be the quarterback who plays the most snaps this year, which is,
I mean, right now
was a long shot.
Ritter's got a very comfortable spot on the bench. Corral's out for the season. Sam Howell.
I think Wentz has been fine in every game except the last one. Howell, no one's howling for Howell.
Kenny Pickett's got tiny hands and is only going to get to play in cold weather, so he's out. Yeah, I think. I mean, I would like to see Zap. I don't know what you gain if you're the Patriots playing Brian Hoyer in this one.
And Space Force finally paying off, taking out an asteroid.
Yeah. It's pretty huge news. If you didn't already hear that, now you know. People are buzzing about the Chiefs, huh? Let's cover the Chiefs in a little more detail on our pod on
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I do not love the vibe that is metastasizing between Bieniemy and Mahomes.
No, that's a bad vibes all around.
It's super bad vibe. I don't know that ultimately dooms them from winning a West that is now looks very shit. But the Chargers probably calling it a season. I mean, Rashawn Slater to Storm Norton is as much of a downgrade as you can possibly try to quantify. And you have a long-term groin injury for Bosa. You have a bad situation going on with JC Jackson now. Yeah, I mean, it's like gone from bad to absolutely hellacious very quickly. And I think ultimately, Raiders
are not that bad, but it's hard to dig out of that hole.
Yeah, and what we saw last night with Russ Wilson and the Broncos, like if they ultimately win the West, it will be fucking hilarious. Like they could, but it will just be laugh out loud funny.
Anything is possible. Yeah, and the Chargers. So there was a tweet too. It's like, hey, the Chargers had 8 players ranked in the NFL top 100 before the season. 5 of them were injured. So it's not just like, guess what? A bunch of depth got hurt. No, it's all the good players. It's crazy what's happening. So
just Cowboys. It's another fucking potential huge negative play that gained like 3 yards. Like there's so many of these.
Everyone, we all want to sit and talk about. Name is completely out of my. Well, Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, but Dexter, there is. Geez, Dexter Lawrence, or Demarcus Dexter Lawrence. Demarcus Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence. Who is Dexter?
Dexter Lawrence plays for.
No, there is a Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, never mind. I thought I was making up a different player.
Lawrence. That was just he just embarrassed Neil there.
Holy shit! He has 2 others. That's his 3rd sack.
Yeah, he's having a great night.
3
and you know what?
Micah
Parsons is that guy now where he demands so much gravity, or they are kind of like they're not using him in pass rush, and the Giants are trying to account for him, and then these other guys are just beating their brains in. I love this.
So even if you don't, weird, a penalty. Even if you don't do anything else further, 3 sacks and 3 tackles for a loss, that feels like defensive player of the week for Mr. Lawrence. Coming in at the last second.
Where
are these penalties coming from?
Illegal contact?
They're really...
when you throw an illegal contact? When it happens, not after the ball sails 10 yards over the receiver's head. Fuck these guys, man.
I mean, he got his hands on him, but they need to use some judgment on that. Like that ball was way over.
Yeah, and he saw it go way over, and then he called, and he ran a route.
That's just a bad play by that guy too. Like, don't give him the opportunity to call that.
Yeah.
What else we're going to talk? Well, Chiefs on Wednesday. We'll get into the Bills heavily on Wednesday. Those 2 teams are going to get a lot of time.
Yeah,
especially
Ravens, of course. Jags Eagles is going to be a great breakdown. I can't wait for that.
Jags really have to be regretting that Washington game now.
Hey,
that was a game they greatly underperformed in. Get him. God, he's a slippery bastard.
He is so slippery. He got 13 yards on that play.
Yeah,
unfucking believable.
I hope he gets the gout. You can wish that upon people.
He's not keeping his job after the season. So, anyway, the other bets I made this week, as we are kind of winding in, I mentioned I bet the Saints because I love the fact that they're going to England early and getting a week of minicamp in across the pond. Rams, I think, are a bet. I think the loss of Trent Williams is phenomenally huge. I think that defensive line for the Rams is going to have an absolute field day.
Are you just betting them straight up? I looked at that long and hard today at plus 110.
I thought that it was Rams minus 2.5.
I pull all the lines. I pull up the site I pull all the lines for in my notes was, oh my God, Daniel
scramble.
Jones.
Another
Daniel
one.
Jones is very good in scrambling. I pulled up my notes
Killing
and
you.
I thought it was the same thing because this actually was -1 in places. Niners have taken some money in some spots, but Trent Williams, yeah, he's out. They lost a linebacker to an MCL sprain in the Rams. I'm trying to find Rams injury news. It's basically just the Van Jefferson thing.
Yeah, everybody on the Rams is healthy. They're just rusty.
I think you might have talked me into a Rams bet.
Yeah, Rams are a good look. I played under Panthers game because of the hurricane. 43.
I don't know how
Any
windy it's
appetite for
going to be
that?
up there, though. I think they might just be getting the rain. I don't have a.
I think 35-mile-an-hour winds could be in the cards.
Oh, this Giants offense is really pissing me off right now. I'm about to crush.
Yeah, Falcons over was a nice look.
Was
a nice look.
I have Falcons over 46.5, which is up to 49. Good. Lions 48. That some people got way better numbers than that on the Lions. That's up to 50. And then the Bungles and the Green Bay Packers. So, yep, thinking about adding the Rams. We'll have to dig a little bit into it. I don't know. There's no injury stuff. And not only that, so like Niners, you get 2 decent coaches with extra time to prep, but man, Jimmy looked kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't see it. I know that Shanahan generally has, had McVay's, he's had his number except for that playoff game in which the Rams probably should have lost, but it's still not a matchup.
Oh, look at that one!
Finally, God damn it! Daniel Jones fumble, man. It's coming. It should have happened already. I'm sitting.
It's
here
like
waiting.
when a slot machine is due.
That one felt like it was the one. These guys got to get a hand on that ball.
This guy too. This is what I'm saying about Dan
Lawrence
Quinn.
Injured.
This is you bring the safety blitz like that and just almost unblocked.
How did Lawrence get hurt there? Did somebody trip him?
I don't know. No, Wilson came through like a streak of shit. Probably hurt him.
I like it.
And Danny got hit pretty hard there. He's probably just tired. It's hot in New Jersey. That whole state is just a swamp. It's humid, I bet.
5 sacks for the Cowboys tonight. 13 for the season, most in the NFL.
So.
Lawrence got tripped or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. Should we call her a day? Regroup on Wednesday. Regroup our poop.
We can. Yeah. Was there anything else major?
The Myles Garrett thing. We touched on it lightly at the beginning.
That if he plays, that will be an upset, right?
So let's do our. Let's do a macabre ass prediction, but I feel like he has an injury that they're not telling us about. That maybe isn't. It's obviously not life threatening, and it's probably not career threatening, but it's like, hey, he snapped his arm or something, and he's not playing for 8 weeks.
Yeah, the agent's message ends. The agent's message ends. It ends. He's in great spirits. He's doing fine. He's ready to go. He's going to be ready to go Sunday. If he's going to be ready to go Sunday, right? It was missing. It was missing the completed thought of everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, it felt vague for a reason. Oh man. So hopefully, I like the guy. Hopefully he's okay. But man, I guess the car was in pretty bad shape. Oh look. Oh, he fucking had that.
This is rough, man. This is like the
agent said no broken bones. St. Paul and the broken bones.
No broken bones is fine, but
Ryan Henderson. If you need the fact that
was not a defensive touchdown is unbelievable.
Yeah, if you want in the Discord, you just go leave a review of the podcast on Apple or whatever the other thing is, Android.
How is this not a defensive touchdown? But Diggs right through his guy.
Oh, I thought he had it. Like wait,
right through his hands.
He likes to do that. So 4th down at least. We got him in a 4th and
3
longish field goal. 4th and 5. Oh God, they're showing the replay. If his hands would have been a little closer.
I know. God,
The
dude,
worst,
I bet.
so the worst part is it was a catch, not just like, oh, he missed it and they didn't get it.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is crazy.
Miss.
Like,
Fuck, that was good.
yeah.
What do you know?
All right, we need an offensive drive here. Let's call it a night. I'll touch base with you on Wednesday. We'll do a whole thing about week 4.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hopefully the NFL is in somewhat of a better state by the time we get there. It seems unlikely, but who knows?